Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, the viewers and audience of Live with Nart. This evening, we have a special guest from Italy, Emanuele Gerosa, and I would like you to interact with us and provide your questions on the page, and we'll be right back. So, welcome back, our dear viewers. As I mentioned, this evening we'll be having a very special guest from Italy, Emanuele Gerosa. Emanuele was born in 1975 in Rovereto, Italy, and he graduates in contemporary history at the University of Bologna, Italy, in 2001. In the same year, he moves to Spain, where he begins to work on documentaries. In 2005, he moves back to Milan, Italy, and since then he works in commercials, TV, and documentaries between Italy and Spain. His award-winning career, or his award-winning history, begins with the first length documentary called Camanche Northern Quarters, which won the Silver Audience Award in 2010 in Canada, Best Documentary Production 2011 in Berlin, and Best Medium Length Documentary in Canada again in 2011. Other participations and awards in Ismailia International Film Festival in 2013 in Egypt with Lion Souls. Emanuele has a new movie, Between Sisters, produced in 2015, and it won the Cinema Amore Italy 2016, the Best Film in Egypt 2016, and in France in 2017. The newest film is One More Jump. We'll be talking about these movies with Emanuele. Emanuele was a member of a jury in several documentary and cinema festivals. So I would like you to welcome with me our dear guest, Emanuele. Emanuele Gerosa.
Hello, Nart.
Hello, Emanuele. How are you?
Hello, fine, thanks. And thanks a lot for inviting me to this program. I'm very happy to have the chance to have this chat with you.
Thank you very much. I'm so delighted that we have you here as a guest on this show, Live with Nart, and we're delighted to learn more about you and your work and your future plans. And that comes to my first question.
Sure.
You just returned from Italy. From the Kazan Muslim Film Festival, where you were a jury member. So, is it difficult to evaluate and assess other people's work?
Yeah. So I would like, if I can, I would like to start from your question, saying that actually this experience in Kazan as a jury member has been a really beautiful experience, because Kazan International Film Festival is, I really found it's a very solid and beautiful festival, and I had the chance there to, along with my colleagues, to watch a lot of good films. No, I was in the documentary jury section, and I really enjoyed the time I spent there. Regarding what you're asking, yes, I think it's definitely very difficult to judge other people's work, because you have to by one hand, you have to really pay attention to several different aspects, no? Not only the dramaturgy, the story, the the access to the characters, and obviously, and also the how the film is crafted, no? Like the photography, the filming, and so on, and so many things. And for me, especially being a filmmaker, is very difficult to judge other people's work because I can see when I watch a film, I can see the probably you know the difficulties that the director, that the filmmaker had to face during the process, how hard it could have it could have been for him or her to really accomplish to have the film to have a in the end. And this is why I think is let's say it's a very difficult work. You must really be focused and try to not make any mistake. And at the same time, is a beautiful task. It's really an honor for me when I'm called to be a jury member in a festival.
A hard task to do, definitely, but also it's a lot of experience as well.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes.
It really, you really. I think that through thanks to like being in a festival and as a jury member you have the chance to watch so many films that you at the end you go back home with a lot of new ideas and a lot of much experience. You really learn a lot thanks to the to the works of other filmmakers.
Your most recent documentary is called Between Sisters.
Yeah.
And it became an international hit, actually. And I congratulate you on this. Did you expect to become a successful film when you started filming it, and especially that the cast are your mother and your aunt as the characters of the movie?
Yeah, this is a very nice question because actually is like at the beginning because the film, as you just said, no, depict the story of my mother and my aunt and their relationships. So in the very beginning, I started filming them because I felt the urge to film their relationship before my aunt got too old and uh, and to lose the chance of trying to capture some moments of their lives, no? Of this strong relationship they have had during all their lives. But in the beginning, you know, when I started filming, it was, I really thought it could have been like a, I don't know, like a family memory more than a film. And in fact, my mother and my aunt, they were laughing at me in the beginning. They were laughing at me all the time because they were saying, obviously, they were saying like, hey, Emanuele, try to use your time in doing something better, no? Nobody could be interested in our story. And then yes, and in the beginning I really didn't know what this footage that I was filming could become in the future. But slowly, because I've been filming for 3 years more or less. So slowly I understood that thanks for my presence in their relationship with my camera, something really new was coming on, was happening, no? Like the established relationship they had among themselves and and the relationship we had, the three of us, was changing thanks to my presence there with the camera. And then slowly, day by day, I realized that a strong story was coming out. And then after 1 year, 1.5 years that I was filming, obviously that was my full commitment. I was at the time I was living in Milan actually, and I quit all the works I was doing, all the other side works I was doing, and I decided to go back to my hometown where my mom and my aunt were living in order to focus fully on the film.
So, how was it working with the family members? Was it difficult?
Yeah, that was that I would say that that has been one of the most difficult part of that of doing that film because I had all the time this double role. By one hand, I wanted to try to be the director, the filmmaker that was trying to describe a story that was trying to observe the reality and was trying to, through my point of view, to show this reality, to let's say to film this reality in order to have a film. But by the other hand, I was also a part of the family, let's say an important part of the family, because obviously being my mother and my aunt, they've been like the two most important people of my life, no, since I was born. So I had all the time to struggle and trying to find a good balance, a good equilibrium between these two roles, no, the one of filmmaker and the one of the member of the family. Yeah. And that created also some big problems for myself, because there were some point in which, because the story goes really deep and really shows the relationship between the two women, the two sisters, in a very intimate way. So there were some moments, some point in which I was afraid, I wasn't sure that I had the right to describe this, to show this, to film something, no? But then I think that also thanks to my double roles, thanks to the fact that I was filming, I was the director, and I was also a member of the family, I think I could really describe their relationship in a very truthful way.
Indeed. Well, yeah, that's correct. Actually, it's a challenge by itself, as it seems. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not an easy task at all. I would like to show a brief or a small clip or the trailer of the movie, if you don't mind.
Sure.
To your viewers. So this is Between Sisters, the movie that was produced and directed by our dear guest Emanuele Gerosa.
Sapevo cosa che è sta roba qui, Emanuele?
Zia, l'hai già chiesto, è la videocamera.
La videocamera per far cosa?
Per fare delle riprese.
A chi?
A voi?
A noi? Sta facendo un film comico. Io non posso lasciarti qua da sola, né io ho intenzione di vivere la mia vita in questo modo, sai, ma vuoi scherzare? Ma non stai, tu stai benissimo perché sono qua da mattina a sera. Un giorno quando tu sarai morta, chiederò, l'hai conosciuta veramente tua sorella Maria Teresa? E magari mi risponderò di no.
We have just seen a clip from the trailer of Between Two Sisters, produced and directed by our dear guest, Emanuele Gerosa. Emanuele, I have another question, a different aspect of your work, which is you've been a jury member in lots of movie festivals and documentaries worldwide. You are invited to a prestigious Spanish film festival as a jury member, right?
Yeah.
What does these experiences give you and the other juries an aspect of sharing information, or sharing opinions, and also sharing the ideas?
Yes. So yeah, next week I will be as a jury member in Seminci. Is the Valladolid International Cinema Week. It is a very important film festival in Spain, and I'm really glad that they invited me, because it was totally unexpected. I wasn't really expecting that. I was there 2 years ago with my film Between Sisters, and then probably this is why they remember me, you know, they want me there to as one of their jury members, no. Yeah. For me, like the most beautiful thing, your question like touches, in my opinion, like the most beautiful thing aspect of being a jury member, no. That I think that when you are there, at least it happened to me in all the jury members I have been, and I've not been in so many, but few, is that you have the chance to meet some colleagues, that some other let's say fellow filmmaker or critics, or anyway somebody strongly related to the cinema and to the documentary field, and they come from all over the world. They have many times they have a lot of experience, and so being there with them and discussing films with them, you have the chance. I've seen that, at least for me, is a great chance to exchange opinions, to try to catch what they see in a film that maybe I wasn't really seeing before before they explain that. And I can also contribute. I can give my contribution, trying to talk about something maybe they haven't seen in the film either, no. So it's a really a great exchange dynamic, where is it's incredible how much you learn from the other people, from the experience of the other jury members, and not only that you learn something that regarding that specific film maybe, but it's not only related to that film. It's really, in the end, it's really about making film what you learn more. And this is so stimulating that it really makes the work of the jury really beautiful, no? Really interesting. It's something you really want to do. I'm always when I go, as I was in Kazan or as I will be next week in Spain, to be a jury member. I'm very excited, because I don't know which films I will be watching, and I don't know yet who will be my partner in the jury member. So I'm very excited, because I always expect to come back enriched and after having learned a lot of new things.
You've been to many countries as a film producer or maker, and also as a film critic and jury member. As of which I remember USA, Mexico, Egypt, Russia, right? And the last one was in Kazan, right? And just to name a few of them, where would you like to go back again to? Which festival?
Actually, it would be very difficult for me to pick up one country, because I think that anywhere I have been, I had I had a great experience for different things, maybe, you know. So let's say that I hope in the future to go to other countries where I haven't been until now, but I hope at the same time to be able to go back to the same countries where I've been already, because in every experience I would say I learned something.
Experience itself, and definitely the culture maybe as well differs with each participation you make. Which leads me to the next question: have you ever been introduced to the Circassian culture?
What really made very beautiful my experience in Kazan, it has been that the festival, let's say, the festival screens films from all over the world, but it has a big focus on the film coming from, let's say, southeast countries of the world. No, I mean all the countries that are southern than Russia, and east as well, and to the east as well. And for me, it has been it has been amazing, because I had the chance to learn a lot of things. It was my first time in Russia, by the way. So I would say that I really didn't know much about the country, about the people, the culture, and it has really an enriching experience. And I also met, I mean, because you were mentioning about Circassian culture, I met an actress and producer from from Circassia,
Yeah.
that is Amina Zaman, and we had the chance to like to spend time together, and we got to know each other, and I had the chance to really like see something about her work, actually as actress, producers, and director and singer, because she does a lot of things, and so this is, let's say, this is what I learned about Circassian culture, no culture. I would lie if I would say that I know it from before, that I knew a lot of things before, no?
Yeah.
So before I didn't know much, and now I'm happy that this trip to Kazan allow me to learn several things of some part of the world outside Europe, you know, that I really didn't about which I didn't know much before.
Indeed. Well, as is, hopefully you'll be able to get introduced to other cultures, including the Circassian. That would be our privilege as well. But also, you've been in exchange of the culture. You've been to Palestine, where you shot another documentary movie. Would you like to tell us about it?
Sure, sure. This is my new film that is not finished yet, but I'm working on it since 3 years ago. The film is shot half in Palestine and half in Italy, and the film tells the story of mainly of two guys, two Palestinian guys born in the Gaza Strip. They were born in the Gaza Strip. They grew up as brothers, and they created a team of parkour. I don't know if
Yes.
anybody knows what parkour is. No, parkour is that art and discipline where you jump, you overcome obstacles through jumping, acrobatic figures, and so on. And let's say that the film tells the story of these two guys, how they created this team that now it has become quite known, and a lot of young guys in the Gaza Strip join the team and want to learn parkour. And nowadays, one of the two guys is still living in the Gaza Strip. The other one has achieved to escape and is living in Italy. So I try in the film. I try to tell the story of these two guys that have been, let's say, have been split apart by the choices they've taken in their lives, but still they are very strongly connected. Because by one hand, Jihad, that is the guy that is still living in Gaza Strip, he's trying to keep united the team. He's taking care about his father, his ill father, and is struggling to survive. But at the same time, within himself, he has the wish of leaving the Gaza Strip and going abroad and build his own life. Instead, Abdallah, that is the other guy that is living in Italy, he achieved, let's say, he succeeded escaping, so he achieved his dream of coming to Europe. But today he's struggling to survive with the daily difficulties of being a refugee in a foreign country, you know. So he sometimes he achieved to work, but it's not enough to survive. He's living in an abandoned house nearby in the suburbs of Florence, and then. Despite having achieved to come to Europe, he feels that he has lost what most mattered for him: his culture, his friends, his family. He's alone, and to a certain extent, he would like to go back to Gaza. So, you know, the film depicts this dynamic that is like a mirror in which these two guys can see the future and the past, no, of one into the other.
It's all about life, and yeah, definitely. We would like to be to have a look at it and to see it. So when you plan to to premiere it?
So I think now we are in editing with the film. So I hope it will be ready for next year. I don't know exactly when, and I really hope we will premiere it during 2019. But I still don't know when nor where. Let's see, let's see. I really bet it will be a good film, and even if it's not like my previous film that it was about my family. Now it's not about my family, but as often happens, the people you deal with as character of your film, they become your family somehow, no, at the same time. So I'm really involved in this film as well as I was in the one before.
When did you begin shooting your documentaries, or when did you decide to make these documentaries?
Actually, it was in 2008 when I really started to work on my first documentary. I had been by then I had been working in video production already for several years, but I must admit I wasn't interested in documentaries. At one point I had the chance, thanks to an NGO, to make a collaboration, and so like I offered this NGO to, let's say, to help them, to give them my skills and my knowledge, to help them to realize a very good video about one of their cooperation projects for free, because I felt I really wanted to, is not it's just that I wanted to try to make an experience, and at the same time doing something good for somebody that couldn't have afford to pay for a professional video. So this NGO, they sent me to Africa, in Burundi exactly, precisely in Burundi, but anyway, they sent me in Africa where they were developing some cooperation project, and I did a video for, let's say, a corporate video for the NGO. But at the same time, I started to make development and to film something for a project of documentary that I wanted to develop. In fact, let's say, after this trip to Africa, I went other times, but anyway, I mean, this film became Kamenge Northern Quarters that was finished in 2010. But, and what I want to say, what is important to me is that through this experience, when I came back, I really felt that, like the experience I've done there, the magic, the magic that you can really feel when you try to, when you try to put your point of view on a real story, when you try to tell the story of real people, is something incredible. No, it's something that is really, for me, is it pays you off of all the difficulties, all the struggles that you face, because you don't have a script, you don't know what will going to happen, you don't know much. You just you have to try to see reality, focus on something that for you matter, and seize the moment several times, and keep on changing what you are, maybe the basic of the story, or changing what you were thinking before. You keep on doing this all the time, and that for me really, these things really capture me, definitely, completely. And when I came back, I thought, okay, this is what I want to do. That's really, like, there's nothing that compels me so much as doing this, and this is what I'm trying to do since then.
Yes. Indeed, it's a beautiful work. Congratulate you on your achievements, and would love to know what are your future plans in just a small brief.
Sorry, repeat it,
Your
please.
future plans. What are the future plans?
So now, actually now my future plans are all related to this film that is called One More Jump, this new film about these two guys in the Gaza Strip, because I think that, I mean, in the last 3 years, but especially the last year, 2 years, I've been working all the time on this film, and probably, I guess, next year it will be the same, because I'm trying to develop some, let's say, side project with the film, because by one hand, I want to try to, let's say, I want to try to make, but I don't know if I will achieve that. Okay, I'm working about it. No, beside the film, I would like to make a graphic novel with the prequel of the film. At the same time, I would like to try to have the soundtrack done by a group of international artists, and also I want to try when we will launch the film. I'm preparing now that I want to launch when it will be the premiere of the film. I want to try to launch a crowdfunding campaign in order to build a parkour gym in Gaza. So these are many things and much more bigger than my capabilities. So I'm very, let's say that at the moment I'm focusing on this, and in the future, let's see. I hope as soon as possible to to have the time to focus on something else and going on to make other films and keep on learning through making films. No. At the moment, I'm checking and I'm investigating some ideas, some topics, but I don't know yet what will be the next project. In the meantime, I really have to stay focused on this one.
Well, of course, as you mentioned, we always keep on learning, and that's what motivates us, right? In doing something better and more and more.
Yeah.
Emanuele Gerosa, thank you very much for this interview. We've been delighted to have you here tonight, and we wish you all the luck with your all future plans, and we definitely wish you all the luck with the One More Jump, the new documentary that you are working on. And we hope to meet again.
Thank you very much, Nart.
In the future with all the work that you're doing. Thank you very much. And now, dear viewers, thank you very much for being with us here tonight.
It has been my pleasure, Nart, and I hope we will meet again very soon.
Hopefully, yes, we'll do that.
And all the best with your beautiful online show.
Thank you very much. So, dear viewers, thank you very much for watching us, and stay tuned every Tuesday evening with more interesting friends, guests and friends as well. So, until next week, hopefully to see you then. Bye.